guys, what is up? Today we are back with lesson 2 for Python scripting. Today we will be talking about variables, one of the core fundamentals of Python scripting. Before we get started, I just want to say make sure you hit like and sub, and you can follow along with our lesson tutorials, and you can also join our Discord server. That link will be in the description. You can ask us questions and I can try and help you out with anything you need there. Also, comment down below of what else you would want to learn. Right now I'm just going down through the basics and working my way up. So if there's anything specific you want to learn or need help with anything, you can ask me in our Discord server or in the comments. Just let me know, and let's get started. For this lesson, we don't necessarily need to compile a script. I just wanted to show you guys how to create a script in the last one and then how to run it. So for this one, we're just going to do it in the Python executor program itself. As I said, today we're going to talk about variables. So for creating a variable, there's really only one way to do it. You take your variable that you want and set it equal to a value. That value can be a string or an integer. A string is like a string of letters, so like a word, and an integer is just a number. So variables are case sensitive, so a capital X is different from a lowercase x. So you could have two x's and one could just be lowercase and one could be uppercase. So let's set a variable equal to a string and a variable equal to a integer. So first we'll do x is equal to 5. Now it knows x is equal to 5. Then let's do y is equal to survival islanders. Now when you do a string, you have to put quotations around the string, so that's the way it knows that's what you want. It can be single quotes or it can be double quotes. It doesn't matter. It will mean the same thing. So we hit enter. It now knows that x is equal to 5 and y is equal to survival islanders. So if we do print x, as we learned from our last video of what print does, it will print 5. If we do print y, it will print survival islanders. You can swap back and forth between what a variable is equal to. So you know how I said earlier you can't have lowercase x is equal to 5 and lowercase x is equal to 6. That's because it will update that variable. And you can switch back and forth between string and integer. That doesn't matter. So as now x is equal to 5. So if I want to set x equal to hello, x is now equal to that. So if I do print x, it will now be equal to hello. So as you go down through, it will update. And if you do compile a script like that, in the beginning of the script, it will give you an error because there's two conflicting values for the variable. Now you can do something that's called casting to a variable. This will set a specific data type to that variable. So you can do a string, an integer, and a float. If you do, let's say, x is equal to int 3, it will see x as an integer 3. So if we do print x, it will be 3. If we set x into a string 3, oh, sorry, I meant str, not stg, so x equal to a string 3, it will now see x as a string 3, so 3 is no longer a number, it's a string as to Python. And then last is a float. So this will be a float value in the program, so x equals float 3. And now it sees 3 as a float number. You can see what kind of value the variable is by doing a type. So x is equal to 5. Let's do that. So then if you do print, as you can see from my example above, type x, it'll print what type it is, and it'll show you that the class is an integer class. So if you're not sure, you can do that to find out. So when setting a variable value name, there's a couple things that you you can and can't do. So for example, what you must do to name a variable is the name must start with a letter or an underscore character. A variable name cannot start with a number. A variable name can only contain alphanumeric characters and underscores. So here you can see this is all the type of variable names that you can have. These are good. These are valid. Now the types that aren't valid, as you can see here, I just got a bunch of errors from trying. You cannot type in to my var because it starts with a number. You can't do my dash var because it has an illegal character. And you can't do my space var because it has a space in it and it cannot have a space. Now if you want to have a variable that has more than one word, but you don't want to just make everything all lowercase because then it kind of jumbles together and you can't really read it. To make it more readable, there's three different case that you can really do. You can do a camel case, which is every first letter in each word is capital except for the first one. A Pascal case, which is all the first letters and all the words in the name are capital. And a snake case, which is where you use underscores to separate them. So I'm going to put examples of those up. Okay, so here are all the legal ways that you can name different things if you have more than multi-words. So you can see the first one is camel, the second one is Pascal type, and the third one is a snake case. So these are all ways that you can easily differentiate and make things more readable when you have more than one word for a variable. One way you can make assigning multiple variables easier is you can just make it all part of one line. So that way you don't have to have so many different lines declaring variables. So for example, let me do something with some trees. So we have x, comma, space, y, comma, space, z equal, then let's do, I don't know, what's a tree name? Oak, comma, space, so that's what x will be equal to oak. Then let's do spruce, comma, space, so y is equal to spruce, and I don't know, birch. Birch. So now z is equal to birch. So if you do print x, y, z, oak, spruce, birch. Or if I just want to do one, print y, spruce. Now, if you do want to set variables, more than one variable equal to the same value, you can do that in one line. So if we want to do x is equal to y is equal to z, so we're setting all the variables equal to each other, and then we're setting them equal to, let's say, oak. Don't forget your quotations. So now it has that, so let's do print x. Oak, let's do print y. Oh, because they're all set equal to each other. So now you can have more than one variable set to the same value. Now, if you have a collection of values in a list, Python will allow you to extract those values into variables so you can make them variables from the list. And this is actually called unpacking. So let's do this again, and let's say, let's do trees equal bracket oak, quotations, oak, spruce, quotations, maple, close bracket. Now you can have x, y, z equal to trees. Okay, so I know why I got this error. It says tress, not trees. So let's try that again, but let's just say that tress, it means trees. So you can set x, y, z equal to tress. Now this pretty much just says x is equal to oak, y is equal to spruce, and z is equal to maple. So let's print Y spruce, just like that. So you can have a whole list, and then you can assign variables from that list. And then print from there. So inside a print function, you can have a certain phrase you want to say, and then you can do plus a variable. So you can set a variable and then have that print plus a certain phrase that you want. So let me show you an example of what I mean here. So let's set x equal to survival islanders. Then let's do print, and then in quotes of what we want to say. Let's do x plus the quote what we want to say. Let's do space, so that way it puts a space between the variable and this is awesome. Close quotation, close parenthesis. Survival Islanders is awesome. So that way you can have a certain thing you want to say, and you can print that plus that, and you can add as many pluses that you want, and this will just mean that it will print all of them. It's pretty much an and statement. You can take the length your way and just do all the variables in one if you want. So if you want to do x is equal to, well, x is already equal to survival islanders, so let's set y equal to space is awesome. Then we can do z equals x plus y. Then we can print z, and it will print our two variables together. Survival Islanders is awesome. Now that's for an integer class. If you have, that's for a string class. But if you have integers, it will just act as the math. So if you do x equals 5, y equals 5, and then do print x plus y, just like we did above, but if we print that, it'll come out as 10 because it sees those as integers now and not strings. What you can't do is you can't combine integers and strings together in the plus. So if we do x equals 5, y equals hello, and then do print x plus y, it doesn't like that. It won't, the integers and the strings will not work together with the plus statement. So thanks for watching. Make sure you hit like and sub, and hopefully you're learning a lot off of these. And if you want to see anything, or if you're confused anything, just comment down below or join our Discord and you can ask us questions. And we will see you on lesson 3.